All right, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. And salutations to you, Akim, out there, laboring in the truth with all seriousness and sincerity. And, Shalom to you, Akim, of the hopeful elect out there. And, the apostle Gabar brought out, and his brother who from GMS Atlanta, who did a video concerning this folly that you see on the screen. This nigga here, with an apocrypher in a bathtub drinking, or holding a cup of wine or whatnot, promoting rap music or rap videos. This is not the right representation, for this truth. It's not for the use of edifying the church of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, But this is just, folly, folly and foolishness, And we're in a time where brothers who feel that they've been called to the faith and called to this truth, to this ministry, should treat this truth with all seriousness, because we're serious times is approaching. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 6. It says, folly is set in great dignity. Okay? So, foolishness of that picture of that nigga, is exalted onto dignity. Is somehow in this, society that's devoid of truth, and sincerity in the ways of acknowledging the Most High and Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai, it's not dignified behavior, But, folly in this setup is exalted onto dignity, all right? And the rich sit in low place because, us as Israelites, we are spiritually rich. The kingdom and the glory of the kingdom of heaven, it's for us Israelites. But because of our, our foolishness, we sit in a low place right now. Okay? So this is the Hebrew word for folly, which is, what, that, pretty much, depicts, a nigga being simple in his foolishness.
Strong's H, 5529. Sechel. Sechel.
It says, sakal, silliness, concretely and collectively. Dolts, folly. Folly, fools. So this guy, here would be a fool, So I can.
Like that. We're the ones that got babies killed and fed to alligators and stuff like that. Yeah,
bear with me, Akim.
We're the ones that they separated our families and sent.
Yeah, so I can. All right. That's why I titled this lesson, rapping and niggatry is not the song of the Most High. The song of the Most High is to, bring about, teaching our people the true and sincere doctrine in all seriousness, teaching in the spirit of prophecy, which is, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, which is the spirit of truth, and sincerity and righteousness, not exalting, foolishness. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this, this precept, folly is set in great dignity, and really, us as Israelite men, if you call to the faith, you pretty much, you're called to grow the fuck up and gird your loins as men, The Most High's, calling is to the sons the sons of Israel, and we're called to be men in this thing, but to put, and also to put away childish things. This is Ecclesiastes 10:14. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? All right. That first part, a fool also is full of words, because really, with rap music, all they're really doing is exalting the folly of their mind, Mainly it's just a lot of vanity that in a lot of rap music these days that just promotes a lot of vanity, vainglory, and wickedness, to smoking weed, selling dope, committing adultery, killing your brother, flossing, stunting, things of that nature. And that's really not to the use of edifying the body of Hamashiach Yahushai. So really, this guy, on that video, Salaki, I lost the clip or whatnot, but really that's just him, seeking vainglory, This is Ephesians 4:12. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. Okay, so Yahushua gave us, talents, for our proper, place in the body for edifying the church, So I'm going to read up just a little bit above, This is Ephesians 4:8. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Okay? So, Yahushua ascended up and is exalted onto the right hand of the Most High Yahweh, being glorified, for being faithful and doing the Most High's business, and that's the example that we as Israelite men are supposed to follow, not folly and vainglory. Okay. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers. Okay, so really, when you're part of being a prophet or or being a teacher, you're basically being a bishop or overseer of the church, of teaching the Most High's flock, And that's a serious thing, you know. The operative word, you know, being serious, you know. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying, which means to build up of the body of Hamashiach. Okay? Till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. Okay? And, you know, that's not, you know, that nigga, you know, was not, you know, renewing himself after the spirit and image of Yahweh Shai, but, you know, basically just, you know, being after, you know, worldliness, you know, trying to get some type of fame or, you know, recognition, you know, and folly, you know. You know, basically, you know, clout chasing, you know, which is, you know, trying to have a influence or, you know, fame. This is and just reading that precept again, you know, because the guy in that video, you know, was basically had told of a vision that the Most High gave him. You know, a man cannot tell. So like Ecclesiastes 10:14, a fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? All right. I mean, the Most High gave him a vision of, you know, basically him being in that thermonuclear destruction. You know, a vision of his end. You know, for, you know, his foolishness. You know, and you know he foreseen that. You know, because the Most High gave him a vision. You know, peradventure, you know, if the Lord will have him come out of that, whether, you know, if he tells the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and he repents, you know, if he come out of that. However, I mean, this nigga might already be the seal for his fate. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days, which we're in right now, perilous times shall come. And that's the thing that we're supposed to be getting our mind to and spirit and prepare for, you know, through making our calling and election sure and getting as close to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai as possible, you know, through our faith and through our works, you know. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud. You know, that's some proud ass shit to, you know, basically, you know, film yourself with an apocrypher, the word of the Most High, you know, with a glass of wine in the tub, promote some niggatry like, you know, rap music, you know. Blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, you know, because, you know, if you was called to this, but, you know, many are called, but few are chosen. Okay, you can be called to this, but not be chosen. And, you know, scriptures speak about, you know, the election of the Most High. Okay, which is going to be a small number. That's why it's important to follow into that straight grade. You know, but this whole rap thing, this whole trying to be, you know, famous through, promoting rap is, is a thing of the world. Okay? It says having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Okay? For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. I mean, what? I mean, the nigga was probably trying to attract, some hoes or whatever, basically attention seeking, through clout chasing and whatnot. It says ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Right? Because to do, to have a display yourself in that manner, calling yourself an Israelite is, showing that you don't have a firm grasp of what this truth is really about. And it shows that you have a reprobate spirit on you. Okay? Now, as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith. Hey, there you go. Just like those two niggas out in the wilderness who basically spoke against Moses, who the Most High was dealing with, sought to stir up rebellion against Moses. And what happened? Most High had them swallowed the fuck up. Had the earth open up and just swallow them. Them and the people that stood with them. Most High is not dealing with niggatry. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was. All right? And I mean, this nigga just basically made his folly known unto the whole congregation of Israel, man. So that those who can see this may take heed, But thou hast fully known my doctrine, manner of life, purpose, faith, long-suffering, charity, patience. And this is the Apostle Paul speaking, man. I mean, this is the matter that we have to be, conformed to, walking in his faith, having these works in truth and sincerity, teaching the proper doctrine and having, our conversation and our conduct are right in our daily lives, not being a nigga, okay? But that nigga spirit is still heavy on 2/3 of our people, even those calling themselves Israelites. Okay. So verse 2 Timothy's 3:13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. All right. So, I mean, that brother's obviously, deceiving himself and thinking that, that's a way to, uplift the church of Hamashiach Yahushua, That's basically just, doing something for vainglory, with the scripture say about not doing things, it's concerning the truth out of, strife for vainglory. Okay. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned it, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua. I mean, you receive wisdom in this thing, from the Most High through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua supping with you, and that was not a display of wisdom. Okay. As a matter of fact, as far as really, teaching, this truth, I mean, Most High don't need, rap, because rap is not a part of the song, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get a quick precept. is Revelations 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Which, those who are of the hopeful elect, we hope to be, a part of the elect, which is the 144,000, 12,000 sealed from each tribe, holding fast onto the faith and sincerity and in seriousness, it is truth, And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne. All right, because, this gospel being preached in all the four corners of the earth, this is a new song unto our people and unto, the nations, okay? Because once this truth is preached throughout the four corners of the earth, and the elect is sealed, that's when the end is going to come. But it ain't going to be, through niggas, exalting this niggatry of rapping and folly, okay? So, and they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Okay? So, the Most High, only called, a small remnant, to be able to receive this truth and to be able to teach this truth in the proper way, in a true and sincere doctrine, which is the 144,000, which is going to be the governing body in the kingdom, okay, under Yahweh Shai. And these are they which were not defiled with women, which, spiritually represents, these false and vain philosophies, for they are virgins, all right, meaning because they've kept themselves pure from, the folly, and the vainness of this world. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Okay? So the elect is going to be, the first fruits unto Yahweh Shai, upon his return. I mean, this is, I'm going to show pretty much another example of, something that took place recently. Salaki. Bear with me, Akim. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the article in just a moment. Art of clout. In this industry, everything is done for clout. Fame, recognition, influence, vanity, vainglory, basically exalting, wickedness. All right. That's why I don't find myself listening to too much rap these days. Says battle rapper shot and killed after he brings picture of rapper's dead aunt and spits on it during battle. I'm just gonna play this video just to show this example.
Your head, Mr. Disrespectful. Didn't your Aunt Rochelle die in 2016 or some shit? Okay. Yeah, well, man to man, to your face, nigga, I'm glad she dead. I wish I knew that bitch personally. Just so I could tell you all the things I dislike about her. Matter of fact, I wish that bitch was still alive today. Just so I could be the one to smack the light bulb. Ah, you mad, nigga? You mad, nigga? I wish you would get out of pocket. Matter of fact, I even brought you her picture. And since we're rapping about it, I might as well spit on the topic. Hey, yo. Hey, you know what?
And that's why, you know, this nigga ended up getting put to death, man. Ended up getting shot and killed. You know, because of the words and transgression of his mouth against this man. Over a rap battle. This is Proverbs 18:6. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. All right, you know, and that's basically what got that man put to death. You know, it says a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. All right. So, you know, by every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in a day of judgment. And, pretty much, words bring about wars, you provoke somebody onto anger, expect some shit to happen, and that's what this whole rapping and niggatry, promotes. So, I'm gonna go ahead and, end it there. So with that, all praises and glory to you, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Waha Rakak Wadash. Niggas, you niggas, man, y'all don't come out of this madness. Y'all part of the 2/3 and y'all gonna be destroyed. But those that's, calling themselves a part of this truth and a part of this faith, that rapping demon, get on you this heavy, man. You need to really examine yourself and grow the fuck up. Bottom line, Most High called us to gird our loins as men. So, basically, once again, grow the fuck up. Shalom.